social studies today. We just finished watching the video that the student council and Mr. Muir put together for Veterans Day. Those of you at home, whoops, I'm totally in the wrong classroom. You're going to need to go to your distance learning classroom for the remote learners. And when you go to classwork, you'll be able to go to social studies, and it's going to be this top one up here. You can watch the video, and then you will click on the slides. Okay, those of you in the classroom, you have your slides opened up already. All right. So remember, if you're having a hard time seeing the page, go to the magnifying glass, and I'm going to make it 200 in case you want to read off of the screen with me, but 100 usually works pretty well for on your Chromebook screens. Okay, so what we're going to do today is, that's bigger than it was before. There we go. All right, we're just going to read this. Well, I'm going to read it, you follow along, because then we're going to be working on finding the main idea of what we just are going to be reading and 3 supporting details, which goes along exactly with what we've been talking about in reading this week. All right, are you ready to follow along? Mm-hmm. American Armed Forces. The American Armed Forces is made up of 5 different branches: Army, Navy, Marines, Coast Guard, and the Air Force. Each branch or subdivision of the military has different rules, missions, goals, and responsibilities. The Army dominantly protects land, both American and foreign soil. Foreign means over in other countries. They secure areas and instill order when needed. That just means they help maintain peace and order wherever they're at, so that people aren't going crazy and fighting and arguing. They guard U.S. territories and properties throughout the world. The Navy primarily protects the seas and oceans around the world. They strive to create peace and stability within the waterways. Stability means to maintain a strong and secure establishment. They want the seas to be safe for travel and trade. The Marines are trained to protect by sea and land. They are considered extremely brave and heroic, as they are often the first military group to respond when needed. They often work in special teams. The Coast Guard protects domestic waterways. Domestic means within our nation, so within things within the United States. They are responsible for rescues and clear waterways in times of danger. The Coast Guard enforces the laws on the water. They also protect marine life and harbors. Our Air Force protects us all from the sky. They fly planes and helicopters. They monitor air traffic and secure the airways above American soil. All branches of the armed forces protect Americans every minute of every day. American soldiers are stationed all over America and in over 100 countries, keeping us free and safe. All right, so let's go back to the top of this. Because like in reading, I've said a lot of times, not always, but a lot of times the main idea can be found where? What do you remember, Jenny?
The first sentence.
A lot of times in the first sentence, maybe the second sentence, or maybe in the last sentence of the first paragraph. So let's look back in our first paragraph. The American Armed Forces is made up of 5 different branches: Army, Navy, Marines, Coast Guard, and the Air Force. Is that what this whole thing was talking about? Those 5 branches? Okay, so let's go to our main idea part. What was the main idea of what we just read? Remember, double click here. If it highlights all of that, you can just hit backspace and it'll take your cursor back there. Otherwise, you can get your cursor there and just backspace all the way to the left side. So what was this whole first page talking about? What's the main idea of it? Could we look back at the first page if we need to double check? Of course, maybe. So what could we say for our main idea? Raylyn, what do you think? Okay, what's the whole reading passage talking about? This is a clue. 5 branches of what? 5 branches of what?
The American Armed Forces.
Right. The American Armed Forces has 5 branches, right? So let's go to this. I'm going to go over to my computer and we're going to type what we just talked about. What did it say? I gotta go back and look again, friends, sorry. Oh yeah, that was right. What else should we do in our main idea sentence here? What else should we include? We said that there's 5 branches. So what else should be included? Amy?
The names of the 5 branches.
The names of those 5. What's one of them? Haley?
Army.
Army. What's another one, Jenny?
Coast Guard.
There's 2 of them. There's 3 left. What's another one, Natalia?
Marine.
Marines. There's 3 of the 5. Jenny?
You forgot them.
If you need to look back, you can. Shall we take a look back over here? Did you find one of them, Jenny?
Yeah.
Okay, what'd you find?
Air Force.
Air Force. And there's one more. What is it, Amy?
Navy.
Navy. Are you coming with your typing? You're getting lots of typing practice today, aren't you? Does it matter what order we put the different branches of the armed forces in?
No.
No.
Is Coast Guard capitalized?
It is, but if you don't want to have to take the time to capitalize things, don't worry about it for now, friends. But they are proper nouns.
Already capitalized them.
Perfect. Okay, so now I know some of you are still working, but people are starting to finish up. Take a break from typing this and just listen. For the supporting details, 3 details that give us more specific information about this, right? Now, there's 5 different branches. Do we have to include all 5 of them down here? No. So what we're going to do is look back in the reading passage that we finished up just a few minutes ago and decide which 3 military, the armed forces, which branches you want to include in your details. But you aren't just going to write the name of the branch. You're going to have to tell something that branch does. So let's say you choose Navy here. Tell something the Navy does. Maybe you decide to use Air Force. Tell something Air Force does. Maybe you want to put Coast Guard here. So you're going to tell something that the Coast Guard does. Does that make sense? Jenny?
What if you wanted to do 2 of one theme, but you don't have, 2 of one
I would just, for right now, I would just do one thing in each box so that it speeds you up a little bit, and then if you have time, you can go back and add more. Okay? Did I answer your question? Okay. Any other questions?
done in time.
You just keep working, and I bet you will, because we still have quite a bit of time. Okay. All right, I'll let you go ahead and finish. Those of you that were still finishing that up, go ahead. Did you have a question?
Is it okay if the last word goes out of the box?
Yes, if the words go out of the box, that's fine.
What do you do when you're done?
When you're finished, you should be able to go back to the stream. And then when you click on it from the stream, it'll give you that turn in. No, don't turn it in. Never mind. Not yet. Just finish slides 1 and 2, because we're going to finish slides 3 and 4 tomorrow. Don't turn it in, because we'll finish the last 2 slides tomorrow. So when you are finished, you can just X out of all that, because it's going to save your work. And after that, then why don't you just read while others finish up? Okay? Anybody think of another question? All right, go ahead and work then, friends.